Hi guys, Darish zone. Welcome back to channel. A new video about Meteor image. I will go on vacation this week until the end of the month, so we'll see again end of August or September. I'm not sure, but I want to make this last video on about my Meteor image based on Batocera, and this is gigantic 512 gigabyte image funded by the community. They helped me to buy the needed hardware, this fantastic card to store all this beauty, and I don't even feel all the car, I have to say, because it's gigantic. So this is extreme build. Nobody attempted to make a PI image 512 gigabytes crazy. I will do the best for made this project a reality, but it's not easy. I have a lot of space and I've added a lot of games, but I want to show on this new video how it works. Batocera is fast, is user friendly, is easy to set bezel like you want. From the menu you can set the bezel, you can set the shaders, you can set the ratio. For example, if you want to play with a ratio 69 ratio, just set 69. Smooth games I've set off, and every game that required the RetroArch core will stretch to entire screen. For example, one of new system that Batocera supported well is GX 4000, and this system does not run well on the RetroPie, and that surprised me a lot, because a lot of system emulators under Batocera runs better, way better than compared to RetroPie. I'm not sure why. I think because Batocera doesn't run on ahead of an entire operation system. It works with Linux base, but it's not clear. The RetroPie works on head of on top of Raspbian, and I'm not sure what exact version of Linux uses Batocera, but it's different because it's loaded like a giant firmware, and it's light in essence. So it seems a more fluid compared to RetroPie. There's not legs on the menu, the game list, for example. It's very fluid, and the RetroPie, when you have more than 20,000 of games, it's begin to lag a little when you explore fast the menu. As you can see, there's another theme I've added on this release. So we are a 15 custom theme. This is the arcade, is inspired by my arcade image, 60s image I made with Recalbox base, and I think why not to set back this theme and adapt to Meteor. So there's not anymore, of course, the arcade logo, and there's some subtle differences, but it is mostly the same theme, and I like this. You have just another custom theme along the others, and I just want to show how it works. Let's see first the widescreen format ratio. Of course, we always start with 1942. It's a classic. In that case, I have not output on Full HD yet, so the screen just switch to the HD ready, so the loading times is a little longer. Let's increase the volume because it's one knife for two. Let's change the joystick, and you see the game is almost widescreen because the Commodore 64, but is way more stretched than the normal. So you can play your games on widescreen format without entering the RetroArch menu. You still can do with the hot combination. You can enter on the new revamped RetroArch. Looks always beautiful. This new menus in next generation is way more beautiful than the old ugly green. But so you can set widescreen every game you want. Just a big advantage compared to. Let's back to auto because I want to show the shaders. The shader, which is called decoration. You can select between 20 ambience preset by Batocera. You can set the special arcade vertical for the vertical fanatics, arcade vertical I will show later. And you can set your bezel, that in my case is the Z bezel. So it's fantastic, I don't know this before. You can set for every system your bezel. So I've set my DZ bezel for every system, and you can switch. For example, if I start again 1942, you can see it will load my bezels. You see? This is the DZ bezels. Okay, and the screen you see is back to 4/3. My bezel. And if you want the Batocera bezel, just one click and you're done. Just select auto. Let's play again 1942. And you see you have the bezel made by the Bato guys, which also have a some of gray effect instead of blacks. So it's very monitor type. You can switch all these overlays just using the main menu. So it's way more simple compared to RetroArch. And the RetroArch you need to save, do the overrides is way more complex. You don't have to touch anything here. Let's try other bezel, still DZ bezel, as the Aztec challenge, for example. And this is the, remember that the 2600. This is not a real cartridge, it's a bootleg, Lifelast. But I want just to show how it looks. You know, there's a Halo game made directly from the Halo developer. It's so cool. Even that one, of course, is not off-shell cartridge. I don't know for it. To be honest, I don't know if they released. It's sorry. Oh my god. Hello, made on Atari 2600. You recognize the little monster. Well, it's simple, but you can recognize it. And so, the Atari, all the Atari family, Atari ST is the set. I already showed this little set I've saved from before set, which was very flawed, and that this bunch of games all works good. So no problem at all. It's not, of course. We don't talk over 1000 of games, just only less than 100 of games, but all works, and you also have my sweet peso. Remember, honesty, you have this visual keyboard, which is useful when you have to skip all the screen, and of course you need to be a little patient, because games load lots, and you have to wait. The game loads on Atari ST, and there's not a way to skip the loadings. There's not fast mode. And this is Ghosts and Ghosts by Software Creations. They was very active on this porting. Okay, it's very too long, and I don't have so much time. And Commodore 64, the ColecoVision, the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast is back. The Dreamcast runs a little slightly better compared to RetroPie, but don't expect miracles because there's not here. It's still a very edge system. PI can't manage so well. We have to wait for PI4. And I've had just 3 games. One of them doesn't even work. It's a Gunlord. I've added that because I hope on the next revision of the emulator it can load the game, because this game is fantastic. And for conservation, let's say like that, I will keep this game for the moment. So the Stormwind is shoot 'em up. Is nice, sweet shoot 'em up, made by Germans if I'm not wrong. And Bolgar the Viking is is a game dedicated to the old arcade like Rest, and it's a ultra hard game. Maybe I will add new games, I don't know. And the arcade is very cool, because if you play my arcade image, this Meteor uses at least on this build, it uses the same approach. So they have 2 sets. One is Final Burn Alpha. In that case, you see the Capcom artwork. It's a Final Burn Alpha with the videos, of course. And this cover all games by Capcom, of course, of CPS game, but a lot of games which runs well on the FBA emulator, like, for example, fighting games, but not only, to be honest. So there's around 600 of games, and this is one of 2 sets, arcade set, FDS, Game Boy Advance, Amstrad GX 4000 is a system which runs very well on Batocera, and there's a bunch of games for this unfortunate console by Amstrad. I'm very happy to have this game, for example, like Robocop 2, because it's not work very well on the RetroPie. I think so. I added some scan lines in this. I have to check. I'm not sure. This is very hard game. I think there's there's a jump button. The screen is a little dark, but you can set the brightness, no problems. It's so hard. Oh no! It's so hard, but it's stimulating. GX, then television links. This is the second set of the arcade classics. and in fact is the MAME, and you see there's a lot more games compared to Final Burn Alpha. But if you combine your two sets, you have overall of 2,000 of arcade games, which is more than the King Image, which was around 1,700 overall games, if I remember. But so 2,000 of games overall of arcade, all already set on the MAME plus 2003 plus, and Final Burn Neo, which is the very last version of Final Burn. Okay, you know I like aliens, but I just want to show the bezel. The DC bezel is the same as arcade, and I don't remember what I wanted to show you. The set obviously runs well the Mortal Kombat, which need the MAME, and it also have support for the samples, the audio samples. And I remember now, one thing I think some of you may appreciate is the fact that if you use games like Outrun on the MAME, it can work with the digital control. So if you have a D-pad like me, you will appreciate this thing. So you can play Outrun with the D-pad. You cannot do on the Final Burn, which you need the analog stick control. So another advantage of. So you see all this fast. The bezel are simple to set. Is a very console type experience image. So I will keep to work on this base, and I want to show before close. Look at how much games I've managed to add until now. 501 PlayStation games, incredible. But we will see later that category. So I salute you, and happy holidays to all. We'll meet again when we return. So wait for Meteor, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And we catch up on the next one. Bye bye from DZ.